you ever want to see like truly who somebody is, watch how somebody acts when there's no accountability for their actions or no one watching them. Like that's who they really are. There are a lot of really terrible people that pretend to be decent because they know society and people they interact with will cast them out if they're who they actually are visibly. But when that's why the internet brings out so many terrible people, right? Because there's a very low level of accountability in lots of parts of the internet. Yep, who you are is what you do when nobody's watching. Is exactly correct. Completely agree with that. Ah, Urz is mine. We've got Field of Rune. Can't possibly lose, right? Angel Puff with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Is this the same list last time? No, this is card for card, the blue-white list, the top 8 of the Open this weekend. So the black-green rock list was moved further down in the queue to off to the side, basically, because we're waiting to play that until Guilds of Ravnica releases. You Google your OKC. I feel like Christy and I started dating, you know, almost a decade ago. Before that was really a thing. I never really, like, internet dated or anything like that, and I have to say I'm glad for it. It does not sound super exciting. Yep, Karn's really bad against blue-white control. Karn's really bad against blue-white control. Just played the intro for Warhammer because of you. Thanks. What's going on, bud? Hope you enjoy it. Alright, so, wow. This list is super light on cards against Tron, huh? Do I bring in Angels and cut Terminus here? No, I don't. You shouldn't think about Standard until you have a full spoiler. What's the occasion? I try and do at least one late night stream every weekend. Angels come in for the Terminus. That makes sense. We need to kill them, right? That seems reasonable. I'm gonna mute for a second and eat some of my slushy here. Alcohol slushies are the best because they're cold, but they make you feel warm. It's a good balance. It's a good balance, really. This is unfortunately not keepable. How much game time you think you need to give a deck before you decide it's not for you? As someone who's played a ton of Magic, probably like 2 to 3 leagues is enough for me personally. Depending on how much experience you have playing, it probably varies a little bit from here to there. Did I always have an aversion to beer and liquor? I have this, so I'm a vegetarian as well. And the reason I'm a vegetarian is because I don't like how meat tastes. And I just really don't, I really just don't like how a lot of alcohol tastes. So I just like don't eat things that I don't like. This 5's actually very good, right? It's like Stony Silence on 2 here into hopefully Vendilion Clique on 3. Just like get our stuff rolling if we hit a blue source. I think I need to do this before I get natural Tron tier. For people asking what an alcoholic slushy is, I have a Dailies strawberry daiquiri here, which the alcohol content is in it is not going to make me drunk drinking one of them. And there's probably too much sugar in it for me to drink much more than one, but they taste good and they're easy. That's why any of the alcohol I do drink is generally fruity. Dang it! I forgot the golden rule, chat. The golden rule is the Tron player always has another tower, so you should never kill the tower. I'm gonna blame the daiquiri. So do I hold up path / negate, or do I click them on the draw step? They probably have more than one threat here, so I think I just hold up the negate here. If an umbrella can't be put in the drink, I don't like it. Well, this is truly unfortunate for us. Yeah, I think we're right to wait to click here, but Thought Not Seer is pretty punishing for us. We're gonna lose our threat now. This is just end step click again, right? I feel a little bit bad. Actually, am I supposed to just click them? If they play any land, they can Ulamog me. I don't know. They only have 2 or 3 Ulamogs. A lot of them only have 2. It's like famous last words as I get Ulamogged here. It's in slow motion because this is my 3rd league and I probably need to restart Magic Online. Yeah, we're at 2.2 gigs. I'll kick it after this match. Ooh! Ooh! I found a piece of candy! Nummy candy! Need to put our Vendilion Clique on the table. And, like, even if we hit another untapped land here, we get to start using Celestial Colonnade. So we're gonna close, like, fairly quick-ish. Well, we'll take that away, because it gives them 5 looks at a threat. Might as well just give them 1 instead. Enjoy. Sweet. Close the game out pretty quickly here. Vendilion Clique is such an A+ card. 3/1 flyers are great. No. Oh, so you're saying I should click and then... God bless us. Everyone. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. Do, 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 do. I actually prefer Stifle Bird myself. The blue-white control list on my website plays both. It plays 2 Stifle Birds in the main and 2 clicks on the board. And I've been a pretty big fan of that split personally. I think 3/1 flyers in general are really important to have in matchups like this, so having 4 of them is good. And Click and Nimble Obstructionist, their disruption is good in different places. It's a world breaker. It's very tall. Yeah, I think bringing the curve down is worthwhile. I think Nimble Obstructionist is better than Click in that deck. And I think 4 3/1 flyers is enough, basically. Sanctum of Eugene. Assassin's Trophy will probably be 15 to 20 plus if it's playable in Standard. The if it's playable in Standard is going to be the big asterisk, basically. Like how good is the card inside of Standard? Alright, Snapcaster Mage just got downgraded. I guess they had the Scavenger Grounds today on the table. Maybe I should have bought them this. Although I guess I get to kill them a turn sooner now. If they don't have a thing here, I get to flash this in. Look at the price of Vraska's Contempt is a rare, right? Or is that a mythic? I feel like that's a rare, right? Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely going to be more than that because it's 4 of playable in both Modern and Legacy. There's no way this is keepable, right? Just like 0, like the click isn't meaningful disruption. Yeah, I just think this doesn't do enough. As good as click is. That also doesn't accomplish much, but it's got a cantrip, I guess. Every time I look at the hands in this deck, I always just feel like it just like doesn't do anything for infinite turns. So you're saying... So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need, chat. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Man, there aren't rips in the sideboard of this deck, are there? There are rips. We have 2 rips and 1 surgical. We have 1 surgical we can dig to. Every time a Tron player like plays a non-Tron piece on 2, you're just like, oh yeah, give it to me. Just get it. I assume this is the last deck tonight. Yeah, probably. I have to work in the morning. I'm gonna bottom this and dig aggressively for the copy of Surgical. I'm gonna field them now because I would like to cast Baku Visions this turn. Show me surgical extraction. Tilt. Am I in for a Snapcaster Mage? I guess it kills them and it like flashes back this Negate or this Path to Exile. Yeah, I guess I'm in for that, huh? think I'm DTF with Snapcaster Mage. That's good. Am I getting my thoughts knotted? We are not yet. Are knotted thoughts better or worse than sculpted minds? Asking the hard-hitting questions on this here magical evening. Eugene and I go way back, chat. He's my buddy. He's my pal. Definitely just gonna hold up Negate here. Man, if they don't have a threat, if we don't have to negate this turn, and we get to Vendilion Clique into untap Teferi hold up negate. Never not Tron. I'm gonna cycle Illumination, pick up my Snapcaster, fetch a Hallowed Fountain. Definitely want snaps to snap negate next turn. I'm not drunk. I've had like half a frozen thing. It's not anywhere near drunk. we're not like stone dead here. We're only like mostly dead. Maybe we like take the Karn out of their hand, and then we like path this Ulamog, and then like they don't draw a threat for the next 40 cards, and we win the game. Happy man. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, I need the click to kill them. Ideally, killing your opponent is great. Yeah, if we drew a field, we could have maybe been okay. But even then, like, they would have just, like, tapped 7 lands and cast Karn, right? Yeah, technically I should have clicked after pathing. You are correct. Why do people keep wanting to path our things? What is having a 4th land magically going to change? I would much rather get rid of the Thought-Knot Seer and draw a card than like turn this Snapcaster Mage into the world's worst rampant growth. Yeah, Jace doesn't beat Karn, not by a long shot. I know that Karn's never been banned in Modern, and Jace was banned once upon a time, but listen, all I'm gonna say is anybody who was on record or recorded saying that Jace and Bloodbraid were gonna ruin Modern, you should probably just like take everything else they ever said with a grain of salt. Can we concede yet? I don't know. I feel like we're like details on the sub Discord are here. Yeah, I feel like we might have a shot. Listen, all I'm gonna say is Modern is the only format where there are 50 playable decks and everybody hates all of them. Every time, regardless of which deck is on screen, if it's blue-white control, there's a bunch of Z's because control is boring. If it's burn, it's derp. Burn's such an easy deck. Screw burn. If it's some kind of combo deck, this combo deck is so unfair. Why is it legal? Please ban it, Watsy. Just no matter what, we're never happy. Just oh Magic players. It's almost 10 o'clock, chat. And you know what that means? It means it's time for the late night chill. My name's Jeff. I play a bunch of Magic here. Y'all are great. Thanks for hanging out. These people, also great. Consider buying their stuff. These people, also great. Consider buying their stuff. Let's go back to playing more blue-white control. I'm a very complex person with complex ideas. I like Blood Moon punishes greedy mana bases. God bless. It seems fine. Like, not amazing, but fine. Considered. Do you know what's funny? That chill like half-assed pulling the banners up and like indicating that they exist. That's like better than like half of the people that exist on Twitch plug sponsors that they have. I watch a lot of Twitch outside of when I'm not streaming too, believe it or not. It's like many of you, Twitch is my Netflix. It's my television for the most part. And like a lot of people just like pretend their sponsors don't exist. It's so weird. How many Hollow Boys we got? 0 Hollow Boys! That's so good for me, opponent. It's Honey no longer sponsored. The Honey sponsorship has ended. Thank you to everybody who installed it using the link. I don't get what's embarrassing about making money from your job. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing for me, for people to consider bad. Any champions later. Maybe this is only the second. Oh, I forgot to restart Moto too. I'm gonna make a note. Bant Bogles will do G-Goat. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna let this happen because if they Hollowed Boy, I can Logic Knot it. Oh, it's Hallowed Vine. Gross. They touched Avenge Vine here. I don't know, there's this weird stigma among people that like if you like your job, you're not allowed to like your job basically. Like if you like your job, you're doing it wrong. Details on how subs and the deck queue work can be found here at bit.ly/Google Or the bots dead at the moment. That is a yep. I think I'm just hanging tight for the time being. Fatudi, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate it. Welcome. I'm gonna knock them off of this. We need one of them Termini, chat. One of them fancy Termini. Correct, Orcish Veteran. That is basically it. So, do I Cryptic tap draw here? Or do I play the Search for Azcanta? I think I'm going to play the Search for Azcanta and then plan to flash in Snapcaster Mage again for this turn. I think is the goal. Thanks, Shannon. I guess I could have negated... the... Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to negate that looting. Yeah, the negate would have been a gain 4. Yeah, I definitely should have negated the looting. Alright, so the good news is the opponent's deck often doesn't contain the card Lightning Bolt because they don't have room for it. I definitely should have negated there, though. It was a mistake not to. Alright, so let's gain 4. We go to 4 here. I get 2 looks next turn. I get another look with the Cryptic Command. And I get 2 looks the turn after that. Oh, I'm just dead, right? Because of the Insolent Neonates? Yeah, I'm just dead because of the Neonates. Yeah, I should have negated the looting. We would have got there. Should have negated the looting. This is definitely a Lyra Baneslayer matchup, right? Get to cut all these counter spells. Get to cut these Vendilion Cliques. Get this Hieroglyphic. Do I want to keep Supreme Verdict? How about cutting a Teferi? Yeah, Surgical's fine. Cryptic Command, probably. I'm gonna cut a Cryptic and a Teferi. Alright, let's do that. I think this is a keep. I think most hands that are functional are keeps because your better draws in this matchup just involve Terminus off the top. Maybe not having cantrips in the opener makes it not worthwhile. I don't know. Timely reinforcements feel like it probably goes a long way here. Double Street Wraith makes the timely pretty significantly worse. It's unfortunate. It was a good addition, Jack. Cuts down on a lot of confusion. That's fine. I didn't want that timely reinforcement anyways. Joke's on you. Well, if we would have kept the timely, we actually would have gained life without fetch shocking next turn. Gross. It's casual 7. Oh, I believe in miracles. Please, Lord. Do 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 do. Okay. Mate, we're gonna need a miracle to win this one. We're not wrong. Not wrong. Yeah, Oust isn't the best against looting. That's for sure. They're just lucky we didn't cast Batterskull. That's all I'm saying. We're lucky. We're lucky there wasn't a Stoneforge Mystic involved. All right, let's kick Magic Online since it's running like molasses here. Oh. It's been a tough league so far. I think Tron's a harder matchup. Having played both the Tron and blue-white side a number of times, I think Tron's is a rough-ish matchup. It's not unwinnable from the blue-white side, but I definitely think Tron is ahead. Yeah, we have at least one league with Elves at some point. The conclusion I believe we ended up coming to is that Bloodbraid Elf was just worse than playing Lead the Stampede, as far as, like, card advantage goes. Yeah, this build of blue-white explicitly also doesn't have that many cards for the Tron matchup. It's worth noting, too. There's 3 Dispels in this sideboard, and those counter spells could be a mix of, you know, more Negates, Disdainful Strokes, and Ceremonial Introductions to make Tron better if you really wanted. Yeah, being on the 4 Terminus plan and not being on the 4 Opt plan feels weird to me. I also was a very big fan of Thought Scour when we played it in this archetype. I mean, like, these are, like, the types of medium hands you're signing up to keep with this deck, right? Like, there's no way I'm supposed to mulligan this. Yeah, Illumination seems interesting. I could see Illumination just being better than Thought Scour, potentially. Thought Scour is definitely just there as, like, it has some utility when milling, but it's definitely just primarily there as another instant speed way to draw one. Yep. No, I don't use mana traders. I believe Durward has a sponsorship set up with them, so maybe check out his stream. God bless them being budget elves and not having Kevin or Souls. Otherwise, just like our hand wouldn't do anything here. And again, just like we're kind of like automatically in a spot here where like I need to hit Terminus or we're just gonna be dead to rights. Pretty sure I'm supposed to logic not this. And then Field of Ruin probably doesn't really do much in this matchup, so I'm going to prioritize firing it off ASAP. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should draw step click them here. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to draw step click. Because I could take a Collected Company potentially, or a powerful 3-drop. I'm gonna do this in response because it lets me take a Collected Company or a 3-drop. Oh, that's gross. I think I need to take this though. Like their average card is like much worse than Azuri. Those are my favorite timeouts, Orcish. People are like, I almost said something dumb. Protect me from myself. Preemptive timeout. Huh. That is a good upside Wraith. It also doesn't cost one more mana against things like Thalia, which is nice. My body's ready to draw Terminus on this one. Alright, not yet. I'm not dead yet. Okie doke. This could draw us an Opt, and then the Opt could draw us a Terminus on their turn. I'm just dead, right? They activate this, and then it hits for 6. Just very lethal amounts of damage. Oh, I could have tucked Azuri. Yeah, I guess that's probably better. Yeah, tucking Azuri is maybe a little bit better. I'm gonna split Dispel and Negate here, actually, because a lot of these decks have Lead the Stampede in their deck, so I'd like to be able to counter that sometimes too, but Dispel is really mana efficient for countering Company. Yeah, the better percentage play there is probably tucking. I just feel like even in the matches where like this deck is very reasonable, you're just banking so hard on finding that Terminus in your top 5 cards in so many of these matches. Because, like, obviously if we hit Terminus there in, like, the first 4 turns, we're probably pretty close to a can't-lose position, right? But then, like, when we don't hit it, we're, like, pretty much on the inverse. I'm probably clicking this Terminus out of my hand. Green-black with trophy should be sweet. I've not tried the new veggie burger at White Castle yet. We actually... So, fun fact. Bloomington, Illinois, where I live. Actually, I have Jace next turn. Maybe I'm just waiting a hot second here. Bloomington, Illinois has more restaurants per capita than most other places in the United States, but one of the restaurants we do not have is a White Castle. I actually really like the White Castle's existing veggie burgers, so I don't know what the new ones are. I like garbage tier fast food. It's delicious. They're just like functionally the same Slayer. We have multiple Chick-fil-A's in Bloomington. I think if they attack with this Land War Elves, I'm going to trade the click for it. That's a lot of Magic the Gathering cards. I'm gonna tuck the Azuri because that's the one that threatens to like combo kill us basically. We're gonna play Jace the Terminus setter upper. I know his suffix here or whatever is the Mind Sculptor, but really he's the Terminus setter upper. So the fact that I hit this opt means that I don't even want a Miracle Terminus next turn. I think I'm going to set up to opt Terminus on their turn. Alright, looks like they're firmly putting themselves into can't beat Terminus territory, which is nice for us. I assume we'll see 2 of these ship into Jace, and then 2 ship into us. I couldn't verdict. This is double white, and I drew the Flooded Strand off the Jace. Alright, ways to telegraph a sweeper 101. Alright, let's just nip the political talk in the chat in the bud and close it with, if you are indecent to anyone because of their sexual orientation, the color of their skin, or anything, if you're ever indecent to anyone for any reason other than the actions and the way in which they present themselves, things they can consciously make, you're kind of a turd. Don't do that. Judge people on the merits of their actions, not things they can't control. I don't care. I don't care whatever other things you think are good that you do to make up for it. Judge people on the merits of their actions, not things they can't control. I'm not a saint, but I try to be a decent person. It's really not that hard. Nobody's perfect. Just try and be better. I don't think anybody would argue that I even try to play a saint on TV. That's not even close to true. All right. I think this is just a Jace brainstorm. They just got like nothing going on, right? We're at the part of the blue. Yes. Yes, put that one and that one on top of my deck, please. All right. Excellent. We're at the fumble around and eventually figure out how to win. The deck queue is still slowed, Average Bloom. It's listed on the submit deck page. Did I put them back in the correct order, right? We found the line. Yep. I would like to put these two back. We're not declaring can't lose. I've been here too long for that. I've been around the block once or twice before. Okay, chat. I understand what declared can't lose means for the rest of us. Must have missed a few of those. What am I gonna do with these? It's probably... Yeah. Yep. This is great. Nope. The slow is in effect until the deck queue is under 40 decks. Could be a while. Could be a while. Probably a couple more weeks or so. I play about 25 decks a week. Man, this is great. This is great. I'm gonna click myself into this Terminus, clean the board right on up here. An hour ago. We are actually, this is match 3 actually. Shuffle that bad boy back in. We are in Snap Terminus Rage. You're not wrong. We're sculpting their minds. Yeah. So, I've talked about this a little bit on stream before, but I'm sure there's people in chat right now that haven't heard about it. I think in Magic, or in card games in general, I think there's a strong bias towards playing control decks, and there's a strong bias against playing aggressive decks that's even present in good TCG players. And the reason for this is when a control deck it wins the game, it spends a lot of time winning the game. And when a control deck loses the game, it tends to lose very quickly. And the inverse is true for aggressive deck. When an aggressive deck wins, it wins very quickly. And when it loses, it generally loses longer games. So emotionally speaking, it feels better to go 3-2 with the control deck generally than it does to go 3-2 with an aggro deck, because in terms of raw time, it takes longer. You spent more time winning going 3-2 with the control deck than you did going 3-2 with the non-control deck. Look at that. Look at that. We have ranted about it before. I like aggressive decks because I also like eating. Yep. God bless. It's funny. I always love when people are like, tournaments need lunch breaks. Like, nah, you want a lunch break? Play an aggro deck. Next. The no-fly list is not a won't play list. The no-fly list is a won't play for $10 list. It's an important distinction, chat. If you're bringing Hallowed Fountains, you best be bringing granola bars. Gosh, that's great. That is A+. Yep, details on how to get into the subs Discord are here. Lots of good active chat in there from myself and many others. What's the will play anything? I'll play most things for $100. For 100 American dollar dues, we'll play most things. I think maximizing on ops is correct. This deck list is card for card the deck list that top 8 of the SCG opened today. If you'd like to see my preferred blue-white control list, I'd recommend looking at the deck list on my website. Although I think I'm going to swap out the Thought Scours in that list for Hieroglyphic Illuminations after this next time I do updates, probably tomorrow night. Come at me, elves. Come at me. Bring it. We get to play Teferi on a pretty medium board. Do I play homebrews? I mean, a lot of decks we play on this stream would be classified in that. Yep. The path to Exile should make it pretty easy to keep Teferi alive here. How much to play a deck built around Sorrow's Path? I don't know what Sorrow's Path does offhand. I don't know. I'd imagine probably not. I guess I kind of just want to hold Negate up here, huh? Because they're obviously, like, repping a collected company. And I want to cast Jace the Mind Sculptor and look for a Terminus. I'm going to get to untap 2 lands anyways. This deck is so... It looks so easy when you draw good. Resolves. If they find, like, double Drain Elf here, we get into trouble, but I definitely think I just let this resolve, right? Single Drain Elf feels pretty bad. Oh, it's only 7. That's fine. What I think's the best aggro control deck in modern blue-red tempo. You can find my current preferred deck list on my website. Kick it, do 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 do, boo do 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 do, boo do 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 do. All right, we're on the scoreboard, chat. This is it. We're gonna scrape our way back up here. We died to Tron and we died to Hallowed Vine in the first 2 matches. It's modern, bad decks, top 8 tournaments all the time. We've played Martyr Proc on stream before. You can find my league of it on the YouTube channel. Like, many decks in modern. I find it's, the tools that it has tend to leave a lot to be desired. Nice, Playhu, congrats. Yeah, I really like the Bridge edition to the sideboard of Mardu Pyromancer. Can't take credit for that innovation. I think there was originally someone at the SCG tour that did that. I don't know where it came from offhand, but it's definitely very good. The Grixis Fey deck was very mediocre. Yep. Smoke on the water stuck in my head. I'm doing my job then. I do what I can. Overgrown Tomb, Street Wraith, could be BridgeVine, likely a Traverse Shadow deck list. Yeah, looks like Traverse Shadow. The rips in the sideboard will be very good here. The one main deck Settle has such tilty get you value. I love it. It's like the Rihanna. That's annoying. Probably binning this Termini. This, the opponent's deck really isn't about grinding, though. The opponent's playing like an aggro deck of sorts. Just gonna go bottoms up here. Just want to like my best chance to find more land. Your burn deck is bad against the life gain deck, and I'd recommend playing a different deck. Blue-red. The blue-red deck is basically a burn deck. I would not recommend playing a burn deck against the decks full of life gain spells. Sounds like a real bad time. This Liliana's gonna pressure us out of this game very quickly, especially with this Thoughtseize taking our Vendilion Clique away. Maybe I'm supposed to mana leak this and then use my health total as a resource this turn and just take the hit. Oh, I guess Teferi tucks her. That's fair. That leaves me the Clique. This is game 1, so they probably have Bolts and Fatal Push in their deck still, though. Ten out of 10 bidding this mana leak if they plus her. Going to 11 here. If we hit an untapped land, we can hit with the Colonnade next turn. Wonder if I'm supposed to... No, I probably don't want to draw a step Clique, because then they can just edict the Clique. But I guess if they edict the Clique, I'm kind of happy with that. So maybe I should have drawn step Clicked. The fact that they binned the Dismember makes me think they have another answer to the Vendilion Clique. Do I activate Azcanta, or do I just deploy my Clique here? I think I'm supposed to just deploy the Clique. Sure. This bodes well for me. Unless they have some kind of creature that kills this Clique that I'm not thinking of. Yeah, now that they guaranteed don't have a way to kill Clique, we definitely want to just pressure the Liliana. If they were like holding a card that could be a removal spell, there might be a consideration there, but yeah, if we hit a land here, we could be at a pretty good spot. I mean, honestly, even if we don't hit a land at this point, like, Azcanta's pretty likely to find us something. Traverse is just, like, sneakily difficult to set up in my experience. It's just, like, one of those cards that, like, on the surface, it looks very easy to enable. Then when you actually start playing games with it, it's like, oh, this is awkward. Now, there's a difference between an alternate casting cost and free. So we're taking 9 here, down to 2, dead to Lightning Bolt. I want to play Snapcaster and Tassiger. Grixis Delver. Both Grixis Delver and Blue-Black Thing in the Ice play those cards and are very reasonable. You find both those deck lists on my website. They're a good time. Yay! Cryptic Command! Yay! Cryptic Command! I love your Cryptic Command! Whisper sweet nothings into my ear, Cryptic Command. Just tap it in. Tap, tap, tap it in. Listen, anybody, it's a miracle! Anybody who's watched my stream on like a normal day knows that this is the normal me. I believe in miracles. Beer, beer. Beer, 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 beer. Doop, 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 doop. We're at a convenient 4 health too, so Bolt doesn't kill us. Gosh, if they don't have another threat here and I get to start activating Azcanta, this game is so over. Don't play a Death Shadow. Don't do it. Don't do. I'm not drunk. I'm just weird. Someone who gets it. So, I could try and attack with Colonnade here, or I could draw cards with Azcanta. So I'm gonna draw cards with Azcanta. It's the sugar, chat. It gets me wired. It gets me wired. How do you feel about Clique here? Pressuring Liliana is pretty important. It's kind of squishy otherwise, though. What do we think? What's going on, Anner? Catching us right at the tail end here. So again, this is not my deck list. This is card for card. The list of top 8 of the open. Not. I think Angel's pretty bad here because they're like definitely leaving Liliana the Veil in against us, and she just cleans up Angel really nicely. See, I'm so good. I'm like the subliminal shills 7 crosses just are on point. That's true. They're likely to have less removal in post board. I definitely think the upside that she has when it comes to pressuring Liliana is worthwhile. Inner does only have 1 sword. Let's fix that. Hold on, donating for Tron League in a minute. What's going on, Leclerc? As a heads up, Leclerc, the queue is currently in a slowed state. Says as a FYI until we work it down. We're probably gonna be based on how the last queue slow went when I slowed again. It looks like we're probably gonna be on like a 1 month with $10 donation decks, and then 1 month slowed, and then 1 month with $10 donation decks, etc. Just so it doesn't spiral the queue out. Infinity. To infinity. Unbound. Ooh, rip opponent. Tron might be banned in a month. The Q slow means you have to be either be a tier 3 sub to add a new deck or a large donation, $50+. Well, Tom, that's the point of the slow. The point of the slow is I increase the price during the slow. I like having it's all explained in the post. If you read the slow post, I explain why $10 decks are important. All I'm gonna say is there's a reason why other people who charge, you know, 20, 30, 40, even 50, $60 for donation decks, they don't have a giant list of them, and I do. And I personally like playing Magic on other people's money, so I don't intend to charge more. I like having 40, 50, 60, 70 decks and on a list that I need to play. That's a win for me, in my opinion. If I've got, you know, 60 decks in the queue, that means I've got a lot of work to do. It means I've been paid to work. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but like, not only is it that some people can't afford to give more, and I want a lot of people to have a chance to do it because there's a lot of sweet ideas out there. You know, there's people who don't submit ideas, but they like to look at the ideas that are in the queue and then bump up other ones in the queue. So, you know, if someone donates $10 for a deck, other people donate towards it as well, and then a $10 deck turns into a $20 or $30 deck, etc. We've only been going for an hour. Okay, I'm tier 3 now, I think. You are, Leclerc. Thank you for the support, I appreciate that. And yeah, just send over your Tron list, and I'll be happy to get in the queue. I appreciate someone that recognizes when the game is over. God bless you, opponent. God bless you. Alright, 0-2 back into the 2-2. 0-2 back into the 2-2. What's going on, to be named? What's the most garbage of garbage tier fast food? People that you talk to here will tell you that, like, White Castle and Taco Bell are the worst, but I actually really like White Castle and Taco Bell, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Her opponent, correct, I agree. The opponent is a smart player who values their time. They know when things are done, they know when they should move on with their lives. Modern doesn't have a metagame. Your local game store probably has a metagame. Modern doesn't, as a whole. Showing up to an open doesn't have a metagame. What do I eat at White Castle? They actually have veggie sliders at White Castle. They have little mini veggie burgers. Yeah, McDonald's has basically nothing. Burger King has a veggie burger. Burger King, McDonald's, or Burger King, White Castle, and Taco Bell are like the best, like, cheap vegetarian foods you can get. Taco Bell will replace meat on anything with beans, so basically everything on the Taco Bell menu is vegetarian, which is great. So I was hoping to turn these Field of Runes into white sources eventually, but as you can see here, this is one of the many matches in Modern where I'm really not going to have time to turn these Field of Runes into colored sources. Some people have more money than time, Sasquatch. And occasionally I fall into that category. Especially since I started working. You know, I'm live on Twitch, you know, 30, 40, sometimes 50 hours a week. If I'm live on Twitch for 45 hours in a week, that means I work 60 hours that week or more most of the time. Which, I'm not complaining about that, I'm just stating a fact for people that might not know exactly how that lines up. Well, it's weird. We haven't played a card that impacts the board or my opponent's cards, and it looks like we might be dying by turn 4. People are so stupid. I didn't say it was hard. I said it was time consuming. Have a timeout for being unable to read, though. God bless you. Good clean turn 3 kill. Remind me of Todd Stevens on Twitter last night. He must have been drinking because he couldn't read. This is a Settle out. This is a Hieroglyphic out. This is a Cryptic out. Is this a Terminus out matchup? This is probably a Terminus out matchup, right? A couple of Cryptics are probably fine. Honestly, if we're trimming the Terminuses, the Jaces probably all come out. Cryptic's like definitely better than Jace. Terminus off the top is still basically Path. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, keeping some Jace is probably fine. I'll keep these two too. And this is nothing personal against Todd. This is nothing personal against Todd. It's just the things that he says. I don't understand how you can profess to both think a deck is good and love a deck and then not show up and play it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm weird. Sounds good. It's not like amazing, but it's fine, right? Dispel sounds great. Sign me up for that one. Then it's not good. If you think other decks are so much better that you should play them instead of playing something else, then that deck's not good. It's okay. It's okay to admit that decks are bad. I've got lots of decks that I love that are terrible, but I don't lie to myself and others and say that they're great. Well, we're gonna need to draw the Field of Ruin next turn, so that's sweet. And I'll pick up the path the turn after. You know, it's fine to love playing a deck and know that it's not good. It's silly to tell a bunch of other people that it's good, though. I built a Magic career playing a terrible deck. It's okay, I still can tell you it's terrible. You know how many tournaments I registered Kiki Jiki in? You know how many articles I wrote about playing Kiki Chord? That deck was never good. And it's okay. I had a blast playing that deck. That deck's some of the most fun I ever had playing Magic the Gathering. I top 8'd a bunch of tournaments with it. There's nothing wrong with playing a deck that's like mediocre because you love playing it. Yeah, it was a blast to play. It's some of the most fun I've ever had playing Magic. Yes, bad decks top 8 tournaments all the time, especially when good players play them, or above average players. It's weird to me. Magic players, like, readily accept that bad or good players with good decks can run poorly and not do well. But, like, the inverse, they have, like, this harder time accepting, it feels to me. Like, the idea that a good player with a bad deck, or even a bad player with a bad deck, can do well is something that always gets pushed back, right? This is really unfortunate. This Baneslayer is probably going to be too slow. And this is why people often ask me, well, like, why does Wizards of the Coast hide data? This is why Wizards of the Coast hides data. Because I can't give you an objective measurement for what makes a deck good. It doesn't exist. The objective data to say a deck is or isn't good, I can't give to you because it's hidden. That's not data that we have access to as the general public. Well, that's a board. Yeah, definitely Cannon Gear. Are we dead? Are we actually dead? Because this Baneslayer's, like, really good. Like, they can't cast 2 spells here. His Baneslayer costs way more than that. And, like, next turn, because we drew an untapped plan, we attack them for 9, right? Like, I cast this, I attack them for 9, and then they're at 3 and can't cast a spell, right? They need a Skullcrack, right? I guess we're dead to Skullcrack. They can have Helix. They needed Helix plus another spell, but they needed to cast the Helix first, right? Because they can't. Helix doesn't kill them now. Yeah, they're dead. This is a weird game of Magic. I'm like, this is only game 2. We have to try and win another game on the draw now, which is more difficult. My opponent said GG's in chat, and I thought that was them conceding. Maybe they didn't realize their Eidolons were going to kill them. They must have said GG's not realizing they were Eidolon locked. Yeah, they definitely said GG's not realizing they had locked themselves under their Eidolons. Oh, burn players. I just assumed they were, like, conceding with the GG's. Cannon Gear with the big 5 donation. Here's 50 to have you build the deck with Whirler, Virtuoso. Will do. Thank you for the support as always. Alright. Let's run it back. This is going to be our last game of Magic tonight. Do I want to play some Warhammer before I go to bed? Maybe. I'm probably going to go, like, lay in bed and play Warhammer if I just sign off. So maybe I'll just stream a little bit of Warhammer. I'm going to wake up in the morning and do more Moto Enter. We have Magic from 9 to 3 tomorrow. This hand is great. It's got 2 pieces of cheap interaction, one of our better sideboard cards. If we lose this game here, this matchup just, like, has to be impossible on the draw. Yeah, Amulet Titan is one of the many decks you can find on my website. jeffhoagland.com/decklist. I believe it's in the Proving category. That deck's top 8 at a Grand Prix. No, I'm talking about the Warhammer Fantasy TCG that just came out. Yeah, I think this hand is, like, pretty close to best possible. Yeah, I think we have to path the Eidolon. So we're going to 13 here. Their start's very good here, too. So our hand's very good, but this is probably one of their better starts. Yeah, Snap Timely's potentially good. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Dispel this turn. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to hold up Dispel this turn. Since I drew a fetch land. I don't know, I kind of want to minimize the damage I take from my lands here. You can feel free to post the Discord link in the general chat there for people that want it. Links are enabled. Alright, not punished for not holding up Dispel. God bless. You get to play Hallowed Fountain tap next turn, and then fetch Timely again the following turn. You get to double plus single here. No, I think I'm supposed to double and then single the other. If they bolt one of these Timely tokens, I think that's kind of a win for me. So, since they played Grim Lavamancer here... Skullcrack, sure. Do I want to just snap path this? I think I do. I think I just snap Path the Grim Lavamancer here and hold Dispel up. This checks the Goblin Guide as well. And like if they don't play into the Dispel this turn, I can have Logic Knot plus Dispel up the following turn. No, I'm just not gonna fetch at end of turn. If I don't need to cast the Dispel, I'm just not going to fetch. Yeah, lets me use my mana efficient sooner, which is nice. I'm just gonna use my mana while the mana is good here. Thank you, Leclerc. Wow, I'm surprised they didn't tech in there. Yeah, bounce, snap, draw a card this next turn, plus replay for snap timely seems fine. There's a Vendilion Clique on top. They have 2 cards. I'm just gonna let this happen. There is no reason to counterspell a card that I can Cryptic Command, to counterspell a card that I can Path to Exile. Just 0 reason. I'm actually going to just Cryptic. I was almost going to draw a Step Click, but I think I'd rather hold up Cryptic in case they play into it here. Seems pretty good for me. I think I'm going to do this to get ahead. This game's over. Not necessarily. The opponent could save up enough interaction or enough kill spells that they could like push through our counter magic on a big turn. It's the fact they only have 2 cards here. Maybe I'm supposed to Teferi. I could see that. Because that lets me... Yeah, I'm probably supposed to Teferi there. Definitely on Teferi now. Sans Firecraft, we're quickly approaching can't lose territory. They could have Exquisite Firecraft. They play that card sometimes. This is actually really good. We can oust our own Vendilion Clique in game 3. I actually have to Logic Knot this. Yay! Yeah, I agree, Tenon. Just save ourselves every point. That was, like I said, I think that was our best possible start in that matchup. Maybe like one more untapped land instead of the Cryptic coming into play tapped on 2, but definitely like you know, Dispel, Path, Timely Reinforcements, a lot of lands that didn't deal a lot of damage to us. Thoughts on this specific build of blue-white? I commented this on this earlier, but I want to say this again in the wrap-up. It makes me really happy to see the builds with 4 Terminus of blue-white doing well, even if some of the detail is a little bit different than the other things that I've tried. I definitely think that Terminus is kind of the busted thing that this archetype does, and you really want to, Modern's a type of format where you really get rewarded for like leaning into like recognizing and doing your busted thing as often as possible. As far as like the other little details go, I really think in order to best leverage your busted thing, I think you should maximize on these ops. I think I would play the 4th op before I would touch Serum Visions. Hieroglyphic Illumination is really sweet. This is a piece of innovation that I really like in this archetype, because this card, while it's in the 4 slot up here, it's really kind of another cheap cantrip that can also trigger Terminus on your opponent's turn. I think in the list on my website, it probably makes sense to play this card over Thought Scour just because it's a little bit flexible. As far as Vendilion Clique goes, this card's very good. I personally am partial to playing some Nimble Obstructionists as well, just because I think having a variety or a number of 3-power flyers really helps you kind of turn the corner and kill your opponent in the matches where you really need to be applying the pressure. Instead of Oust, how do you feel about Banishing Stroke? No, I think that's just too much variance set addition. I'm a pretty big fan of Oust. I like the 2 Oust in the 75. I think just like having 6 pieces of 1 mana interaction is very reasonable. That's funny, Slim Onesie. Yeah, Clique is good in the mirror. So the blue-white list we played last time, we had two Obstructionists in the main deck, and we had 2 Cliques in the sideboard. And I kind of like 4 in the 75. Yeah, that's true. We probably would have beaten Tron if the Clique had been an Obstructionist. Last comment on this before I wrap up this video is one of the matches that we lost in this league, we lost to Tron, and like looking at this sideboard, the way this sideboard is constructed, you're definitely a little bit worse to Tron than some of the way the other blue-white lists are set up. What I have here, where is it? Blue-white control. What was the last sideboard I played? Oh, this sideboard has an extra negate, and then are there no strokes in this board? Oh, I guess this has extra clicks and then surgical extractions. All right, what am I doing? I should probably just go to bed, honestly. I've got